Hey everyone, excuse me. Let me just sort out my text. Move you right to the center. Come on, you. There we go. Come on, there's a good little text box on. Yeah, there you go. Alright, I'll do. People, let me just check out my man Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Talking about the Super Mario movie, which I am thrilled about. I just love it. Me and my pals, man, in Japan. Like I said, we're gonna check it out as soon as it comes out. In Japan, we still haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna drop uh, my interviews that I made with my friends lately. And yeah, the movie review is coming out soon. I know for you this is all old news, but it ain't really old news yet. It's still out in Japan, and this is 3 days ago. 900 million. Yeah, 1 billion should happen next week for sure. That's hilarious, but I'm not beautiful. I'm excited. I'm a gamer, dudes. I'm finally getting back in touch with my roots. All right, let's check it out.
What's up, geeks and gamers? It's
Hey, you're not Jeremy. God damn it. Oh, whatever.
Odin coming back with a box office breakdown.
All right, who the hell is you? Let me hear you.
What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Odin coming back with a box office breakdown for this past weekend, which saw Super Mario.
So who is this guy? Let me see one more time if I can catch him in the captions. What's up, y'all? Geeks and gamers.
Odin.
It's Odin. Oh, whatever. Let's just listen to him. Let me get some bigger text on these captions. Sorry, people. I want to make sure I'm catching the news as it hits. Here's where you go to change the size. You go to options. Change it like this. Font size. I'm gonna get me a 200%. Nah, it's too big. 150 and maybe 100. Okay, 100 should be fine. All right, then. Let's go with play. Sorry, people. I'm going crazy.
Coming back with a box office breakdown for this past weekend, which saw Super Mario Brothers speeding towards $900 million,
Hallelujah.
as our girl Nance over at Deadline is reporting this film just shy of $900 million.
God damn, people. It's a happy day for me. I tell you, I very much love the gaming world. I tell you. Oh my god, man. What's happened? This is a miracle. I mean, I was very happy to see the Sonic movie take off. You know me. I didn't really give a breakdown of that movie. I think I'll do that later down the line. In fact, I can't find my Sonic sketch drawing in my shorts. I'm just gonna pull that back up. But there's been a whole thing about the gaming world making terrible movies or movies that disappoint gaming fans so long that I just felt the gaming audience is just a bunch of whining babies. Nothing's good enough for them. But on one hand, I can see what they're complaining about. But personally, I'm a bit of an optimist. I just love to hear success. When people are just ragging on something, I think, all right, fine, whatever. You ain't got nothing good to say. Let's move on. But in this case, yeah, things are starting to turn, aren't they? The Sonic movie was the first movie to kind of change the landscape for the potential for gaming movies, and now Nintendo, boy, their IPs are kill it like no other companies can. And with the gaming theme park crushing Disney, dear God, you know what I'm saying? No matter what technology, no matter what platform comes out next, some people always rooting for Nintendo to just give up on the platforms. Do you remember when the Switch was coming out? People are saying, Nintendo. When before the Switch was coming out, is this they're thinking, where's next for the Nintendo Wii? In the West, people were saying, man, the Xbox is gonna take it. It's gonna take their lunch. PlayStation's gonna take their lunch. Give it up, Nintendo. Came out with the Switch and just dominated. And then now they're dominating with the IPs. Bloody hell, the Western world. This is what I'm all about. Traditionalist values. Nintendo, Japan, they are in touch with traditionalism. Do more games about traditionalist values, like Red Dead Redemption. You know what I'm saying? And watch things start to take off. It's not just about how great your technology is. It's about the IP. This is one thing that Yamauchi, the Nintendo chairman, before oh my god, the one two chairman CEOs prior, um, excuse me. This is one thing he noticed, even though he was not a gamer and he's too traditionalist for his own good in that regard. Um, he realized that the core of what makes Nintendo work is the actual content of the story, the characters, the values, the actual world, the lore. This is what made the Stadia just fall away by the wayside because it's just too much. We're just kings of technology and that's that, but they have no soul to it. This is why technology based on nothing but ones and zeros will fail when it's not driven by love that audiences have for the products that they make. You don't get it yet. Some people don't get it. But this is why Nintendo succeeds. It's because it's got that core traditionalist value through by virtue of Japan being based on that kind of stuff. Yeah. Anyway,
when it was going into the weekend with the projections that we had, it was looking closer to getting around $850 million. And to no one's surprise, the film is continuing to exceed expectations, which is the reason why at this point now, I think that my initial thoughts about Japan and South Korea are probably also going to be vastly, let's just say, outdone by the original $200 million that I said both would be putting towards the film combined. And I will say, hey, there's never been a film like Mario before. Clearly, I am willing to be wrong on
people like me and Jeremy, wherever he is, are the kind of people who've watched a movie in a movie theater many times. Excuse me. But you got people like Tim Pool getting distracted with his obsession over politics about the movie being woke or not. It's not about that. It's just about enjoying the movie. I'm glad that you're all into traditionalism, Tim, but don't let people's straw manning of what the movie is turn you off to what the movie is all about in the first place. But hey, I haven't even checked out his entire critique. I just know that he's holding the woke, anti-woke label against it, and to which I say, whatever. I haven't seen the movie. I don't need him to drop spoilers. Anyway,
this specific point, and so it's looking like that's probably going to happen, especially since no one is able to actually peg how much film this is going to make by the end of its run. Right now, if the numbers
how much film? How much money?
Are going to hold like this, and if it's going to overperform based off of, again, there's no other film we can really historically compare Super Mario Brothers to in the markets like Japan or South Korea, more so Japan, I would say, because this is from Nintendo, a Japanese property and a Japanese company that is one of the co-producers on this movie. I think that we're ultimately going to see this film continue to overproject, meaning, hey, $1.5 billion or more is definitely now on the table.
Oh, isn't it going to beat Avatar? Shit. Damn. Alright, people. This is heaven for me, man. I'm such a gamer, and boy, oh boy, I'm going to get gaming on my channel. Who knows? My birthday's coming soon. Even though I'm stripped, even though I'm kind of strapped for me to even to get a treat of a Nintendo Switch. That's right, I've been coasting off my bro and my other friends all this time. That's why I've been playing traditionalist games. But the moment I get my hands on the latest Nintendo technology, who knows, maybe they'll have something new by Christmas. Boy, oh boy, it's gonna rock. I gotta say, about Nintendo, the Switch has had a good run, hasn't it? It's been that one console going strong for year after year. That shows you the power of their IPs. Other consoles, they need to have new technology to make things sell. It's just beautiful. It's just the whole thing is beautiful. I just love to see this success. Let me know what you think, people. But bloody hell. Oh, sorry.
For this movie. Again, my initial projections without Japan, without South Korea, had around $1.1 to $1.3 billion. I was willing to give a couple $100 million from those two countries. But again, I don't even trust myself really at this point anymore when it comes to this specific movie, because this film is not acting like pretty much any other film that we have ever seen. And to be fair, there's never really been a fair Nintendo film adaptation of one of their games, because we really
Don't get us started about the old Mario movie, which I haven't even seen fully. I just remember seeing bits and pieces of it. But boy, oh boy.
Definitely can't count the one from the 1980s, 1990s, because that film was trash. But this film doing very well. Again, still not a huge fan of it personally, but hey, can't deny the numbers as they currently stand. As you can see right now, Deadline is reporting that it has an estimated $871.8 million, continuing to have insane drop-offs in every single market, meaning that it's having incredible holds between them. As it says right here, a 38% drop internationally, which is just downright insane. You go ahead and compare that to its domestic of 30.
Holy smokes, I've been so gassed. If I forget being gassed, I'm just saying, damn. These numbers are crazy. Alright.
It's rather 37%. Yeah, this film is just doing insanely well in so many different ways, in so many different categories. And hey, again, kudos to them for being able to pull this off. Very, very impressive, to say the very least. And we're starting to see these numbers actually be pretty much hand in hand with one another. I believe that it was Ryan from RK Outpost shout out to him. He was saying on Friday Night Tights the other day that he thinks that this film's numbers are probably going to be having a much more typical domestic international split once you do have Japan and Korea start to come into the frame. And I think that's absolutely going to happen because right now they've been pretty much neck and neck, which is already impressive, right? When a film like this comes out, normally you have a huge overprojection, or rather a huge overperformance in the international markets versus the domestic. In this case, you're actually having both perform very, very well. Then once you add in Japan and when you add in South Korea, again, assuming that it's going to exceed expectations, which at this point it's kind of impossible not to, I think that we're ultimately going to see that split widen, which is just nothing but help for this movie because it's going to mean 1.3 to 1.6 billion. Might be the new range that I have to put for this movie, but we have to wait for that film to come out. It is coming out in those countries this week, so yeah, let's just say it's going to add even more money to the table. And
God damn. Boy, I haven't even been to USJ Park yet in Japan, man. You thought Pokemon Go was a phenomenon. Nintendo just, they're thinking, okay, now we now we cracked pop culture in a new way. Nintendo always are able. I love these guys, even though, as Guru Larry would have me realize, sometimes it's best to keep the hell away from them, from the Western game developer. But I love these guys for keeping the lore and mystique alive. You know what I'm saying? They always outsmart the West, Nintendo and Japan, by going to traditionalist roots. Just good old movie, good old art, good old this original IPs, despite it being made with out of date technology. Who's that guy? Who used to just keep complaining? Fish. Adam Fisher. One of these people. There's a guy who. Oh my God, Guru Larry. He has a video about game developers having a tantrum. One saying that Japanese games suck. They're out of date technology. We're gonna take your lunch. Japan are always ahead because they got these core values. You gotta have core values, people. Bloody hell. By the way, I'm wearing shorts here if you can see my kneecaps. Anyway.
And it pretty much makes every other studio look terrible by comparison. Speaking of terrible studios, Warner Brothers came in at the number 2 spot this weekend with Evil Dead Rise. Apparently, it's a sequel to the original Evil Dead, which is the reason why this film is much more focused on horror than on the comedy. Again, when I typically think of Evil Dead, though, I think of Evil Dead 2 and I think of Army of Darkness. And I love those movies. Those films are a lot of fun. I saw the trailer for this before the movie Nefarious, and I hated the trailer because I don't like movies like this. I don't like movies that try to go for those cheap scares of, oh, we can create this really creepy demonic imagery and scare you. No. I much prefer the psychological thriller, the ones that actually you have to think, the ones that you actually have to plan, the ones that you actually have to, write a decent script for. Films like Nefarious, I would actually say. In fact, I would say highly to everyone, go see Nefarious because it's a film that's been pretty much blacklisted by most of Hollywood in the fact that it came out originally not having any competition. All of a sudden, 20 films, it seems, came to compete against it amidst a plethora of other things, which I've talked about over at OMB Reviews. Coming to the number 3 spot is Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, a film I was able to see this past Thursday.
This is great movie reviews. We'll get into movie reviews later. I think I'll focus on Mario for now. Okay. Sorry to people just jump ahead. Oh, John Wick. Wow, Mario's taken everybody's lunch. Good grief. Yep. Okay. Sorry. Anything else about Mario before he finishes up? No. Okay. I'm gonna finish up here.
The usual range, anything that's bold or underlined means that it's outside of my projections and also outside of the typical range. And again, that updates every time the box office numbers get updated. Crazy. And so as you can see, this one has now fallen into what will likely be, again, somewhere historically where I had these numbers listed. And then, of course, Shazam is essentially gone. And then Scream. But hey, there's no denying the film is still a massive hit, massive success, and might even hit $1 billion before next weekend. Again, I think that it might have to wait until the weekend to hit $1 billion, but at this point, you never know. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
All right, man, I don't know who this guy is. Let me know in the comments if you know people, but what do you think, man? I'm looking forward to this movie dropping out in Japan tomorrow, and my friend's probably just going to catch the first ticket he can. Go and check it out. Let me know what you think, people. Let's go. Peace.